Day marker. What's going on, Alamo City Movie Talk fans? As always, I'm your host, Ryan D, aka Ryan680.
And this is Lex, back at it again.
Back at it again, Lex. You got a cat in your face. What is going on,
Yeah,
everybody?
she literally,
just came
got
on
here as soon as we started. Yeah.
right on the money, right on cue, cat, right on cue. All right, let's get right to it, guys. Lex, what movie are we talking about here today? What film are we talking about today?
We're talking about Godzilla Minus One.
Godzilla Minus One, guys, tells us a story of a post-war Japan is at its lowest point when a new crisis emerges in the form of a giant monster baptized in the horrific power of the atomic bomb. Let's get right to it, guys. If you have not already, be sure to like and subscribe to us on our Alamo City Movie Talk page. And thank you for making us a part of your day. And if you did check out our reaction video, which has been pretty good and steady at that point. And I do appreciate that, guys, from our moviegoers out there, our subscribers. Thank you guys so much. We hit 13,000 subscribers, by the way, as well. And we want to thank you, every single one of you guys. And thanks for talking movies with us. We love talking movies with the fandom. We love talking movies and cinema and everything. And let's get right to it. Lex, I know we had the out of theater reaction. Let's go a little bit more in depth here. Was this the best Godzilla movie you've ever seen, for one? Two, how was the cinematography in here? Did you enjoy a lot of the plot points that they really pointed out here? A lot of the facts that they really pointed out from real life events into this Godzilla fandom, creation and everything. What do you think of this film, Lex?
Yeah, no, this I think I already said it at my out of the theater reaction, but for those that didn't watch that, or just to give my overall thoughts, I gotta say, I very convincingly, after the movie ended, I told myself this is my favorite Godzilla movie. I even said it to my wife right off the bat.
Nice.
Sometimes I like to digest. Like, I know when I like a movie. Like, sometimes I just need to rewatch, or maybe just let it simmer a little bit just to see exactly where I rank it. And ranking isn't always something I try to do, but obviously on something that it's a deep rooted franchise, and it's got a lot of iterations from the original to what we have now. We have a show now on Apple TV, right? So, like, I think with something like Godzilla, it's okay to kind of see where it lands on your fandom spectrum. And this sits right at the top just because it was so well done. It was beautifully crafted, the story, the actors, because yes, there's humans in this movie. It's not just focused around Godzilla. I think all Godzillas have had some sort of human presence. However, how heavy that human presence is varies. And a lot of people in the past have complained about, it not being about Godzilla anymore, or it not being about the creatures. They rather see, the popular genre, kaiju, like, kaiju fights, monster versus monsters. And we've had that. And it's been done in a way where I feel like it also appeals to that side of the fandom. But this is just a great standalone story on its own. I think it's not necessarily trying to set up 1,000 different things. It's just it's contained. Like you said, it's a timepiece because it's taking place in a very specific time period where
right after World War II, literally.
Yeah, but I like how the time period is not used just like as a setting. It's actually a story element. The time and the effect that it has on the people that we see in the movie, I think it's something that great stories do, right? Like, it's not just a place, a time, it's not just a person. It is how all those things are connected, along with the fact that, of course, we have a threat such as Godzilla.
No, I gotta agree with you there. There's a lot of pinpoints, and I feel like the setting and the time period is meant for a reason here. We see that a lot in this movie. We see the technology, we see the bombing, the creativity. We see them try to defeat a creature that's a way future essence, and it's very very tough.
Ahead of them in
It's
terms
time.
of
Definitely, it definitely is. Definitely ahead of Mega Godzilla, right? But movies like this, and that's the thing too, is that I do want to really put into details here, because I kind of said it in a very blunt way, and I even said it. I'm gonna be very blunt, and the fandom's great, right? We all love coming together, talking about movies and all this stuff. but sometimes fandom could be a little bit negative in certain ways. They really can be, especially Star Wars fans, especially, just the fact is that, everyone complained about the 2014 Godzilla movie. I really enjoyed that movie. That was with Bryan Cranston, Aaron Taylor Johnson. I actually loved Bryan Cranston in here, especially when he was in that scene where he's just like yelling and he just puts his hand down on the desk.
Yeah. Even though
Pure,
even though he
like,
was there for a short
he
time.
was his presence was known and it was powerful, and I loved his presence in there. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed him in there. And then we got Elizabeth Olsen in there, which I thought was really cool. The main problem that people had with this movie, and my only problem with it, wasn't really the humans. It really wasn't. I get it, whatever. There has to be a human element. It can't just be full on monsters. There has to be some type of what do you call that? Some type of story arc that's relatable to us, right? In a way. But the only pet peeve I had with the 2014 movie was the fact that the Godzilla is very huge and fat and chunky and got hips and
body shaming,
yeah. No, I mean it was just definitely different. It was a different Godzilla than what I'm used to. That were even it was even different than the Matthew Broderick Godzilla that came out way back when. The soundtrack in that is actually really good. Just the movie wasn't good. But anyways, there's a lot of those Godzilla elements in here that I feel like that the studio did, and they did a fantastic job here making this, because I mean they're the OG creators, of course, and it really brought back home to me how, I mentioned it in the reaction review as well. This, this is what I compare to it, like the Nolan movie, The Dark Knight. If Batman was real, this is how Batman would be. Well, in this case, if Godzilla was real, this is the pure realism of Godzilla if he was alive in our current time back then in 1945, around there. And if it was happening, this is the most realism it gets. This hits home. I never would have thought, I got to be honest here, I never would have thought I would have cared so much. The first 15 minutes in here, guys, you're going to be caring about these characters. You're going to be caring about these human elements. You're going to be caring about these emotional facial expressions that they give are so rich, are so powerful, that it just feels so genuine. You can tell all these even the extras in this movie have a passion to be part of this movie. And I feel that a lot in the film. I feel that a lot in here. And yeah, and I know people are going to be like, I even saw people comments and be like, why is it Japanese? I have to read subtitles. Guy, come on. Yeah.
Well, and everyone has preferences, right? But
Yeah,
I
of course.
myself, as a fan of the Japanese medium, just whether it be manga or anime and things, I'm used to seeing anime with Japanese.
And see,
voice
I'm not
actors, the
used to that.
original.
I'm not used to. I don't like anime. I mean, I just, it's not my genre. It really isn't.
Yeah.
It's not my style of.
Yeah.
But I have seen My Hero Academia. We saw the first season. I was
My
just like,
Hero
okay.
actually has a really good English voice cast.
Yeah.
Like I gave it a shot and it's really solid.
Okay. I watched the other, like the subtitle one, and I thought that was really good. I thought that was better. Yeah, I thought that was way better.
So and what I was gonna say is, like, for those that may be concerned around that, like, let's say you're not used to anime or you're not used to seeing things in Japanese. I think what's important here is, the subtitles thing you can probably get past, but I think you'll be glad to see that the voice, being that it comes from the actor, you can see and feel and hear, the emotion behind it, even if you don't understand the language.
Yes.
I think that's what's important. A lot of that stuff, when it gets dubbed over, I don't think it translates as well. There's a lot of great English dub voice actors. However, and I'm sure they'll probably get a nice cast.
I'm sure. Yeah.
To reflect this, but like I said, I think
it's Bryan Cranston. I'm just kidding.
It's not going to be what you remember in terms of, you don't walk out of the movie thinking like, man, I read, or like, I didn't really connect with it. Like, no, you get the message, the facial expressions, the body language, all of that can translate really well.
I mean, even the supporting roles in here were so good. Like, it's just everyone just brought in their acting chops and just really teared it up in here, and I really enjoyed that a lot. I mean, it brought a monster to the movie, and no pun intended, but I just the one of the things I did want to really first, this is probably the first first ever time I ever been terrified of a Godzilla, because the Godzilla where he's moving there, it's just his face, his eyes. I mean, they're so vicious, and it just looks so good. I got to give credit to what
I
it's due, and they did a great job. The Japanese, they did a really great job on creating the monster and everything. I thought this was the best I've seen in a cinema live action. When it comes down to it, granted, they are I want to say like two scenes, maybe three. I'm trying to remember that our CGI is very pixelated, but it's only two or three scenes. No movie's
I
perfect. We
yeah,
get it, but that didn't ruin it for me because the acting, the
100%.
story, everything else was way better. So that, yeah.
And I think what this movie did is um it paid homage to the old school Godzilla movies. If
Yes, it
you're an
did.
old school Godzilla fan, I think you'll be pretty happy with this. Even just like the way that Godzilla looks and moves and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Like part of it almost felt like that old school roboticness that Godzilla
Yeah.
has, but
Mhm.
it still felt raw. It felt real. It felt modernized because of the way
Yeah.
that the movie shot. The everything still holds up in quality, but they didn't try to detach themselves fully, right? Because when a
Mhm.
Godzilla CGI, like the movement is different, and I think that's kind of what we got with the 2014 version and the movies after that, which
Yeah.
has worked. It's
Yeah.
been entertaining, but there was just something special about this. Like I said, it's just like a love letter to the original movies. At the end of the day, people are going to be really happy with this. I
Yes.
think in a lot of different ways, um this is like, once again, merging that old school and new school together,
Mhm.
but at the heart of it, it's still a human story, and it's a human story that is good, it's interesting, it's about the human spirit, and how to deal with the tough time and the tough environment that you've been in. It has ties to war and stuff. Without saying too much, that's kind of
Yeah.
the picture that I wanted to paint. And even the soundtrack was really great.
Yeah.
They also brought back the original
The
Godzilla
original.
theme.
Oh, I loved
And
it.
it's
I
just the
loved
way that
it.
they did it. It
They
wasn't
revamped
just
it.
like
It's like they
nostalgia.
yeah.
It,
Yeah.
it's utilized in an effective way. And so, yeah, I'm happy to report, guys, like this is such a great movie. I want to watch it again,
Yeah, I can't wait.
soon.
And it was very, I mean, Godzilla was very vicious. There's this scene where we see it in the trailer, right? We see the scene where he's chasing in the water. He's chasing the Navy boats in the water, and I thought that was really good. God, that scene is so good. I was very afraid it was gonna be a little bit like CGI'd a little bit, just like I've seen previous Godzilla movies,
Yeah,
but that was done very well. I even enjoyed the fire that comes out of him, of course, and that was really detailed to the T. I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed the marketing in here. The marketing was very done very well. Even the poster itself has the outline of him,
yeah,
and then it has like he's actually in there as well. Everything in here was so well put together. I feel like they really had their passion people behind the camera, actors and actresses in here as
yeah.
well.
The
The
actors
two
are
the
great.
the two leads in here, the lead guy in here and then the lead girl, they're both phenomenal. Their chemistry was so well put together. You believe the situation they're in, you believe the circumstances that he has progressed after the war, or that he is stuck with the trauma. And it's crazy because it's not of the war, right? In essence, it's among other things as well. But I just really enjoyed that, with
Yeah,
that whole
and that
element. And it's human, it's very relatable, especially with soldiers who've been through war. It's very relatable, and I feel like it's really going to connect with audiences on that point.
Yeah, and that was just for those in the audience. So that was Kamiki Ryonosuke as the main lead,
Yeah.
and then Minami Hanabe, or Hamabe. I'm sorry, but they're so like we've talked about. The supporting cast is amazing.
Yeah.
They're people to keep an eye on. I hope they get. I'm sure they already have a deep resume within working within Japanese art and movie and TV. I saw some of them, and they've been in the business for
Mhm.
a long time. But I do hope that they get off of this rolling off of this movie coming to the US.
Yes. Yeah.
I hope that they get more work that maybe
Yeah.
it can allow them to transcend outside of just the
Yeah.
regionals work. One of my favorites was the Doc, as they call him. He was great. He had a lot of energy. Had really
Hmm.
good moments, and that was played by Hidetaka Yoshioka. He was really great. Well, one of the standouts for sure. He reminded me so much of a professor
Yeah, man, he was
at
good.
my
I liked him
coding
a
boot
lot.
camp.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
just his energy, the hair, and everything. So
Oh, there, yeah. Oh man, that was really good, and I love their humor in here. It was so good.
yeah,
The humor between the boatmates, that was really good, man. I really enjoyed that. There's just a lot of you could just in a way it felt like they've been together a lot longer than what's portrayed in the movie, and I really enjoyed that a lot. Again, we go back to where the chemistry's just there. It works. The acting works. Who would have thought humans coming together and trying to fight off a monster? And it's just it really brought an emotional. I'm not gonna lie. When I went to go see this Godzilla movie, I expected action and all this. I did not expect to feel the way I felt watching
yeah.
this movie. Pure cinema. And this is the acting. This is what I always talk about. This is Lex. You want to know why? I know Kristen and Trey always give me stuff, and I know Ted even gives me crap about it. Ryan, you don't love movies. No, this is what I expect coming out of every single movie, right? I expect to have this, this world class cinema, this world class just acting skills that I know we can get, and obviously this came about out of nowhere, and I really enjoyed it way more. I did have high expectations going into, regardless. I did. It's just I didn't expect it on the other critique level that I really thought. I mean, I just I go in with these expectations already with like artistic films, and so with this one, it was more critique towards the action, towards the dialogue between the humans, and it was not as much. But yeah, I gotta admit though, I really enjoyed this film and a lot of moments in here. But was this the film we deserved? I'm gonna say hell yes. This was. We both enjoyed this, Lex. I know for a fact we did.
Yeah.
And then rating 1 out of 10, 10. But you want to give this rating, Lex?
Oh, this was so good. I man,
Tell me.
I'm gonna give it a 10 just because
Oh shit!
I can't
Dude, whoa!
I can't find
Dude.
and I know I always give higher scores than, but no, like if I
No,
ask myself
but tens.
realistically, I'm not.
Yeah, you don't give out tens likely. You don't. I think you only given out. No,
Oh,
I
it's
think
more
you
on
get.
movies. It's
Yeah,
more on
yeah.
episodes. Never mind.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah. I know. We're talking about Ted. That's Ted Lasso's. Almost all their episodes are 10. That's different. But anyways,
yeah.
but
No,
but
yeah,
no,
yeah.
yeah. When it comes to
I'm
movies,
trying to
yeah,
think of like what, and not that I'm a director or anything, but I'm trying to
yeah.
think like what else would I like to have seen, or like what did I
Mhm.
feel like was a
I
hole
just,
here, and
yeah.
there's probably super minute stuff that but no, like I mean, I can't like at this very moment I can't, so
Yeah.
I'm not gonna change my number unless I find something. But you know,
Nice,
I was
nice.
super pleased with this
You
movie.
I only given a 10. I think I could think of the top of my head. I only given a 10 this year was which was Oppenheimer, and I saw it 3 times in theaters.
Oh, I
And
did give that a 10 too,
yeah,
actually.
that movie is just pure cinema, and that's why I'm wearing Barbieheimer. But
Yeah.
I enjoyed that movie so much, and this is definitely gonna be man. I'm trying to think because I know for sure it's above 9.5 for me, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I
I was
mean,
thinking 9.8 at first,
yeah,
but I was like, what is separating it from that and the
that's
10?
what I'm
Like,
thinking.
am I just giving
Exactly.
it
Yeah.
lower because so
Yeah.
then I decided, no, you know what? Fuck that. Like if I can't have a
Yeah.
reason to, bring it down those 0.2 points, I'm just
So
gonna give it
yeah.
a 10. So that's why I did.
Okay. So I'm gonna go out and just fuck it. It's a 10. It's a 10, man. It's a 10,
Dang.
dude. Yeah, I know. This is rare for both of us because usually either I'm a 10, I'm
We're the
higher
same.
than you, or you're higher than me. Like we're
Yeah.
never really the same. Usually it's usually me and Angela around the same.
Yeah.
Or like she's all like 'cause she ranked Barbie higher than I ranked Barbie, but whatever. I enjoyed it for its own reasons, but like I didn't love it the way she did. But anyways,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's another subject. But staying on this one, Yeah, damn,
Yeah, and
we do
I
recommend
recommended it
this
to
movie.
some friends.
Boom.
A mutual friend of ours, Andrew, big shout
Yes.
out. He didn't know about this movie because it kind of flew under
Oh,
the radar.
really?
Yeah, so he saw what I said, and he was like, "I'm gonna check it out." And I got his text message, and he was like, "Dude, that was amazing." Uh,
Yeah.
he
See,
he's a
Andrew. I'm just kidding.
no, 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 no,
Yeah.
no. And I know Andrew loves Godzilla movies. Like
Oh,
he
really?
I haven't seen Shin Godzilla, but
I
he
know he
also
loves Star
recommended that.
Wars. I know he
Yeah,
loves Star Wars. So,
no,
yeah, we always go back at it with Star Wars, but yeah, it's just yeah, he enjoys the
no,
prequels way more than I do. I mean, I enjoy the prequels, but anyway, that's just
yeah,
another subject.
no.
Another
With
yeah.
that said, if people haven't seen it yet, go
You
watch it,
need
guys.
to.
Give it a
This
shot.
I've
Yeah,
said it. I've said it at work, guys. And if you are, because I do have a few people that listen to us with that I work with and everything, I'm gonna tell you guys what I tell you in person. All right, here it goes. Listen, this movie will change your life. This movie will reflection of cinema of just the knowledge of Godzilla that you have would never be the same after watching this movie. That's all I'm saying. It's a fantastic film. It's a theater experience. This is what I live for. This is one of the things I enjoy. This is the reasons movies like this, Oppenheimer, are the reasons why I love talking about movies. I'm not gonna lie. These are the reasons. This one, Oppenheimer, Barbie, Ted Lasso, the stuff like this is just, I just adore it. And I love it because they're all artistic. They're all make us feel different emotions. And I just love that because it connects us all. But with that being said and everything, all right, so with that out of the way, we do recommend this movie. Obviously, guys, we do recommend this film. Be sure to check this out because it will change your life, guaranteed, guys. All right, on another note here, and I do want to put this into perspective here because every now and then I like to bring up the box office numbers because the fact is that movies is a business, right? It's a business. They've got it. Studios have to make money off of every film project for the most part. And so with that being said and everything, the budget for this movie, Lex, the budget for this film was $15 million, right?
yeah.
$15 million. That is
Low
nothing.
budget for sure.
Low budget for sure. If you were to compare that
They
to
used it so well.
yeah, dude, they used every penny so well. So I'm going to compare this to the 2014 Godzilla with Bryan Cranston and Elizabeth Olsen and all that. $160 million was their budget. $160 million. Let me repeat that. So we had 15 million with Godzilla Minus One, 160 million for the original Godzilla, the 2014 one, not the original, sorry, the Americanized, revamped one, and then Godzilla versus Kong was 155 million to 200 million. Now, look at the numbers here. So, granted, let's go back to where a recent film that just came out, a Disney film, The Marvels, $219 million budget, $15 million to make a fantastic, and we're ranking it higher than The Marvels. And granted, we're not saying The Marvels it's I mean, well, I'm saying it's not that great of a movie, but that's another subject. But regardless, though, it didn't make me feel the way I felt with this one.
Well,
And
and the money won't always translate. There's the story that gets put together, the people that work on it, the actors and all that stuff. So, but like high budget shouldn't always translate into good movie. I think that's evident. But I think we're just pointing out. We're pointing out as a reminder that like
you don't need to spend
still be done.
Yeah, you don't need to spend, and that's the point is that you don't need to spend $200+ million. Indiana Jones that came out back in July, which wasn't a great movie. I did not like it. That budget was $300 million, dude. Holy crap!
Creators
just the budget, yes,
and
dude.
For the medium and for the story, and good things will happen.
And this puts in perspective, obviously the strike's over and everything, but that's one of the main reasons why you're going to pay, you're going to pay Disney's going to pay $300 million just for the, the production on it, but you won't pay for the writers. You won't pay for the writers in order to create art, you got to get the good writers in there. You got to get the great writers in there. You got to get the, what do you call it? The creativity points to where like you're not limited. And so, but anyways, but with that being said and everything, this film has already grossed $23 million. I'm gonna say this right now. knowing that how much of a high praise this movie's getting, the momentum, the word of mouth that especially us we are giving here, guys. I believe this movie, and let's talk about this, Lex, real quick, before we end this episode here. I believe this movie will make $40 million. 40 this coming weekend because it opens in the US. I think it's going to make 40 million, if not more. I think, but here's the thing: it's going to make 40 million this weekend, US domestic. But I feel like it's going to grow another 20 million next weekend. I feel like this is going to have legs. It's going to grow.
Are you saying 40 global?
No, 40 domestic.
Just domestic, like
just US, because it's hitting US just this weekend.
Yeah.
So I believe,
that's
yeah, I feel like it's gonna hit it. Now I could be totally wrong, but yeah, I really, really believe this can make 40. Granted, the box office hasn't been very well this past few weeks. Hasn't made that much money in recent weeks and everything, including the Marvels, which is a high Disney film, including Wish, including the last what was it, the Hunger Games, the prequel. And so, but to put that into perspective here, there's no opening week, there's no like holiday weekend or anything like that. So
yeah,
but I feel like the word of mouth, just like us, I feel like it's really gonna
really I mean it already won, right? Like it's already profitable, so it already won. It has I think it's going to capture the heart of the fans for sure. Yeah. But yeah, hopefully a new audience member gives it a shot. Because I think it could create a whole new generation of Godzilla fans because of that. That's how good it is. So, yeah, no, I'm really hoping that this movie succeeds even more than expected. And yeah, word of mouth is a powerful thing. So hopefully it does. It's enough for people to go out to the theater and watch this movie.
Yeah, no, it definitely is, and I hope it dominates the box office. I really do, because it's a fun theater experience. The only film it has to go against, and remember you asked me about it, Lex. We were right before we did our reaction. Lex, I literally asked me, he's like, "What is this poster for?" It's for Beyonce Renaissance, and that's really the only film it has to go against. Like that's it. Like it's Beyonce
versus Godzilla.
But they're totally two different demographics, totally two different genres. So I feel like it's not gonna matter in a way, because it's going up against Taylor Swift. It's like it's not gonna matter. The guys are gonna be like, all right, I'll go see Taylor Swift, but you gotta go see Godzilla. I feel like it's you gotta win you gotta fight your battles. Battles. If you gotta sit me through, but Taylor Swift was long, but anyways, and I had to watch that, but yeah, it was still good. It was all right. It was all right. But anyways, of course, my wife enjoyed it way more than I did, but. With that being said and everything, I do really hope it makes at least that much. It deserves it, and I can't wait to talk about movies with you guys. Questions for y'all: what did you think of Godzilla Minus One? Put comments down below. Are you expected to watch? Are you kind of like Put on comments down below. Are you like subtitles? No, hell no. Let us know in the comments down below, guys. And without further ado, any final thoughts, Lex? Anything else?
No, that was it. Go watch it. It was a great movie, and hopefully there's more to come in terms of small movies that are made with love, and they're great stories.
Awesome. I actually already fun fact, I actually already bought a shirt for this. So there you go. I already got a shirt. Dude, I bought it last night. I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna buy it because it's just so good. But yeah. All right. With that being said, as always, I'm your host, Ryan D. Ryan 680.
This was Lex, guys. You all take care and see you guys next time.
Have a good one, guys. Stay safe, San Antonio. Peace.